If we have a look at our shopping edit component here, we of course load data in ng-on-init from the shopping list service. To be precise, we actually manage our current editing state in the shopping list service as well. And we get our ingredient, which we're editing here, from the shopping list service. We're getting it with get ingredient, and then we're setting this on the form, so on the shopping list form. Hence, the values we enter into the shopping list form are not coming from our NGRX store, but still from the shopping list service. And in addition to that, we also use the shopping list service to control whether we currently are editing or not. Now we do have that subscription to started editing, which is managed in the shopping list service, because we do actually start the editing process from inside the shopping list component, not from inside the shopping list edit component. From inside the shopping list component, we have the onEditItem function where we can start editing. Now to translate this into the NGRX world, it would make more sense if we dispatch an action here in the shopping list component to start editing. Then the NGRX store will automatically kind of use a subject behind the scenes to inform our entire application about that. And then in the shopping edit component, we could simply listen to our store and see if we started editing. And if we did, we can kind of run the same logic as here. We would want to know which index, which item we are editing. So what I'm also passing around as information right now, I'm also sharing the index here. So we would want to manage this in NGRX. And then when we get our ingredient here, which we want to edit, then we also want to get this from our NGRX store. That would be the idea here. Hence, to implement this in an easy to use way, we can go to our shopping list reducer and change our state for the first time. We haven't done this before, but now we need more than just the ingredients. Because now for our shopping list, to effectively update the different parts of our application that are involved here, I also want to store the edited ingredient here, which is of type ingredient, and also the edited ingredient index, which is of type number. So two new members, two new fields here in our initial state. Here, however, we don't need the types, we need values, because this is an object we're creating, not a type definition. So the ingredient with which I start will be null, and the number will be -1. It's not 0 because 0 would already be a valid index, -1 is not. Now we'll automatically have one issue before we've done anything else. We changed the structure of our state. And please remember that we have different places in our app, like the shopping list component, where we injected store. And in all these places, we do share a footprint, a definition of our store or of the data in our store. We define how the data in our store looks like, that it's having a shopping list part which holds our ingredients. Now, this is the part which won't really work anymore, because now it's not just ingredients, now we also have the edited ingredient and the edited ingredients index. And of course, we could now add this here, but that would be pretty cumbersome. We would have to add this everywhere in our application. And if we ever change the structure of our state, of our shopping list state again, we again have to edit it everywhere. And therefore, we can use a simpler pattern, which makes managing this a bit easier and more convenient. We can export an interface here to create our own type definition, which we can name state. And that describes how our state for this reducer looks like. That it has an ingredients property, which holds an array of ingredients, that it has an edited ingredient, which is a single ingredient, and that it has an edited ingredient index, which is a number. Now we know that this initial state will be of that type, so we can already add that type assignment here. So this is now of type state, of this state here. And the state we're getting here also will be of that type, just to be super clear. Now, with that state defined here, we can use that in the shopping list component and all the other components here instead of this state or type definition. But we can even take it a step further. This is just a state for the shopping list reducer. Now, right now, that's the only reducer we have, but in the future, we'll have multiple reducers. And then this shopping list part here is only a part of our global state. In the app module, we can see that the shopping list reducer is registered under the shopping list key. And indeed, in the places where we do inject our store, we do reference that shopping list key too. So since we're already merging states into our own objects, we can export another interface here, app state, to describe the application-wide state, not just the state for this reducer. And that would be shopping list, which then in turn holds a reference to this state. Maybe order it like this, though it doesn't matter, would have worked the other way around too. But now we're clear that our entire application state is about an object which has a shopping list area, where then in turn we have data of this type stored in. And now we can go to the different places where we inject store. Like here, the shopping list component, and reference this app state. And the convention for this, for the import, is that you import everything as from shopping list from the store folder, and there the shopping list reducer file. Now, why from shopping list? It's just a convention you also find in the official NGRX docs. You typically use that for describing an import to your reducer and or your state for a certain part of your application. And now, from our shopping list part of the NGRX state, so to say, we import something and we use that here. When we inject the store, our type is now from shopping list app state, because this is now describing our whole application state as it is seen from inside the shopping list reducer. And as it is relevant for when we use the shopping list reducer, to be precise. Our app state might have more than just that, but from the shopping list reducer's point of view, and in this file we're interested in the shopping list reducer in the end, the app state looks like this. Now we get other places where we injected the store. Shopping edit component, for example. There, I now also want to use that from shopping list import. So import as from shopping list from the store folder and then the shopping list reducer file. And then it's just the same logic here. When we inject the store, we reference from shopping list app state. Now the same in the recipes service and the recipe service where we also inject the store. Here I also want to import everything as from shopping list from my shopping list part of the application, the store folder, the shopping list reducer file. And in the injection of the store, we now reference from shopping list app state. With that, I think I replaced all the places where we used that. Now we have a nicer type definition for our state that is more flexible, because now if we add something new, we only need to add it here in our state definition in the shopping list reducer file. And in all the places where we inject that store, TypeScript will then know what's inside of that store. But that was not the main problem we tried to solve. The main problem was that we want to manage the edited ingredient and its index here in NGRX. And we'll do that next.